So we're going to see the spinner. Just for you to know, if you Google this as spinner Android, you're going to find the developer.android.com. This have all the documentation about Android. So if there's something that you cannot find or something like that you want to learn about it, you have it here. So in this case, the spinner is kind of like, it's closed like this, and you have this little arrow here that when you press it, you have a list of options that you can select one of them. Okay? The idea is that you can only select one. Okay? And this can open and close also. Okay? So here I also have how you could implement and everything else. Okay? But I'm not going to look at that. You're going to do that by yourselves. Okay? So we're going to start a new project. The same empty activity one. I will call it spinner app, and I'll keep Java and the Nougat version. Okay, and then going to press finish. So still building. My Android should have a problem because I cannot. Like last class, I'm going to get the build Gradle of the module of the app and change to version 33 of the SDK because 32 apparently there's a problem. And going to save and sync. Okay. So you're going to start our interface. I'm going to delete this. And I'm going to put the system Y. Okay. So I'm going to use the spinner. I'm going to have one edit text, one button, and when I press the button, the content of the edit text goes to the spinner. Okay. So we create like a, so you have some functionality. Okay. So you can see how we work when you change the data that's inside the spinner. Okay. Normally, it's not the normal behavior for using the spinner. Normally, use with static data, okay? But just for you to learn how we could use to insert items, okay? So we're going to put here one edit text, plain text. Going to put the constraint to it. I'm going to delete here the text. Normally, it's not a good idea to have the text for the text. We should use the hint for it, okay? And let's put here the hint. Might not appear. Oh, sorry, I'm changed the ID. So since I call it name edit text, the ID. And I'll change also the hint. Mas não está preenchido o hint. Apparently the hint's not appearing here on the attributes, okay? I don't know why. Because you use the plain text one. We could change here. But it's not appearing as well. Let's see if we fix the mistakes, it's going to appear. So the touch target says too small. So when you click here, we can find the mistakes, the design mistakes. So he has to increase a little bit, okay? No speakable text present. Fix. Okay, now it's saying for us to put Android hint to it. So let's pick up our string file and put string name, item name, item name. Now I'm press fix here. I'm going to use this item name as a hint. This hint will all be used for accessibility. So if you use a screen reader, like if you have low sight or low vision, it will tell, oh, edit text with asking for the item name. Okay. Then I'm going to put here a button. Yes?
What have to edit in the string file?
I put here the string for item name. So it says item name. So it's appeared as a hint on the text. Okay. We are going to also put a string button add. Now let's call it item add and add. And we're going to have add item on the bottom. So now I'm going to put the constraints to the button. Top shaded text box panel. Then on the bottom for the text, we are going to put the item add. And now we can fix these warnings that we have for our layout, for our edit text. We have the insufficient text color contract ratio. So let's fix it. Also is asking for autofill. We could use autofill, but I'm going to say no. Okay. Because normally it's used for username, name, credit card, and stuff like that. And we're going to put items. Okay. So now we have the edit text, we have the button, and we want now the spinner. The spinner is here as a container. Okay. We are going to see two containers, okay, during the class. Okay. One is the spinner, and the other is the recycle. Oh, we are going to also see the card view. Okay. But have others. You have the toolbar if you need it, like a menu. You have the view, that's an empty one that you could include other ones. Okay. So I'm going to drag and drop this spinner. Okay. I'm going to put some constraints. So I'm going to put the constraint to the top, and to the left and right. But I'm going to put 32 and 32. And as width, I'm going to put 0 dps, so it can match the constraint. Okay. So have something like kind of like that. It says the touch size is too small, about the height. So let's put 48, like he has for us. And as for speakable text, it says for content description. Okay. It's the same attribute that also images normally are required to have. Okay, just for have something that says what should have here. Let's create here on the string file another string. Name will be item list. Items added to the spinner. Let's call it add item spinner. Okay. And now we go back and press fix here to set the content description to be item spinner. Okay. And that's pretty much it for interface. I'm going to put some space here. It's 53. Let's put the same one as we put there. 53. There's space. Also here I'm going to change a little bit to put as a top 53 as well. So the idea will be the user type here name, press add item, and it goes here on the spinner. Okay. Let's test if this is okay, just for you to see. Also good practice when you are coding, developing, to do something, test it, do something else, test. Keep testing the program so you avoid major mistakes. So we have the spinner here. It has this little arrow here, indicates the spinner, but we don't have items on it. Okay? We need to add the items. Just for to see something here on the spinner, let's check our IDs. So we have the first one is name ID text, the button is button, and the spinner is spinner. So is okay. Since you're going to have just one screen, it's okay. If you have more than one, probably want to give more meaningful names, meaningful IDs for it. But for now, it's okay. So we're going to go to main activity. So we're going to declare here the spinner. And I'm going to spinner receives find view by ID a.id.spinner. And I'm going to put, just for us to test the spinner, okay, I'm going to put some items, okay. So I'm going to create it here, and after we can create it outside, okay, create by the button, okay. So item 1 and item 2 and item 3, okay. So I want these items to show here on the spinner, okay. How this works? This works the same way in list view that normally Android doesn't use anymore, deprecated, in the spinner, and also on the what's the name? On the recycle view that we are going to see next class, okay. So the idea is what? You have here a list of strings, but you want to show here is what? It's kind of like a list of items, but the items are views. Okay, so we need to transform these strings into views. Okay, for that we have built for us one array adapter that we are going to say that we have that you want to adapt strings to something else. Okay. What it requires of us? It requires first the context, because we are going to create views inside here. Okay, so we are going to get the context is the name of the activity class dot this, okay? And this you should not type, okay? If not, you're going to have a mistake. Now we need what kind of items do we want to create, okay? In this case, we have the R class. We saw that we have the R class for our project, okay? But we also have the R class from Android that already had defined for us some layout, some views, some IDs, some strings that we can use it, okay? In this case, we are going to use the R class to pick up a layout for simple spinner item, okay? But what is the layout all about, okay? So let's check. We said that Android is open source, so we can go here and let's see here, simple spinner item. So on this Android googlesource.com, we have all the code of Android. So here we can see that this simple spinner item is just what? Is an XML layout defined just a text view. Okay, so that's what we are going to use, just a text view. So each item of my application here just contains one text view. But if you wanted, we could like define a layout, for example, to have an image and a text, an image and a checkbox. Normally it's not good practice to have a checkbox inside the spinner, but you could have, okay? You could put many different things inside the spinner. In this case, we are going to use one from Android. And then we are going to say the items that's going to be converted to it. Okay. So this is a great adapter. What it's going to do is pick up the items. For each item is going to create one simple spinner item to be put on the spinner here. When we say spinner.set adapter. So now if we test it, I don't know why, but it's reloading my application. Okay, so now I have it here, item 1, item 2, and item 3. Okay. If I select one of them, it appears here as the one selected. That's the idea of this spin. Okay, very simple. And apparently my emulator is not working very well, but if you have troubles with your emulator, okay, normally you have here the device manager, okay, and normally you close the emulator, okay. then you select it and you have this arrow here, the normal is good for you to wipe the data, so remove everything like installation. Okay, so sometimes the data is the problem, so I'm going to wipe the data, and also you decrease the size. Here I was having 11 gigabytes just with the emulator, now I have less than 3. So from time to time it gets keeping a lot of garbage there. And then cold boot now. Why is cold boot and like hot boot? Hot boot's like what? When you close here the emulator, it saves all the state in a file. And when you reload it again, it will not go all the process of beginning. It will get the file and try to run from the last place that you were. Okay? So sometimes it's good for you to do a cold boot to see if it make you work well again. Okay? Because Android, because of the multiple versions that needs to take care of, it's not like 100%, everything's not working 100%, especially the emulator. Okay? Okay, so now let's implement the functionality, okay, of picking up the content from the edit text and put on the spinner when you press the button. So we need the text, and the button. Oops, not this. And the button. Okay. So we're going to get the find view by ID of both. So okay, so we have both of them. And now we need to implement the button. Okay, the button click. So button set on click listener. So you have two options: new view on click listener, or you have the view, use the it's called lambda operator. Okay, this arrow operator. Okay, this lambda function. The research after the class it was introduced on Java 8. So when you click, you want to get here the name. So You already know how to do that. So string name item receives name edit text, get text to string. And then we want to include on a list. Okay. So one thing, our items probably should not be defined here, right? Because you're going to use many places. So we should define as a variable of our class, not a variable of the function, of the method, okay? So I'm going to take this line 26 out, going to cut and put here, okay? And one other thing, this is a string array, okay? What about the string array? I cannot do items dot add or something like that. You don't have that. In order to add a new item, I need to create a new strings and then with the new item, okay? So the best way for us is to change this from string to an array list that will have strings inside of it. Okay. Array list is a better way to work with items that you want to keep changing them. So you want to add new items, remove items, change the items that are inside, okay? So that way we can change the content of it. Okay? In our case, we are going to do items dot, so I have here add, that I could add a new one, add item. So just to make better, the name will change to item list, okay? I think it's better than items, okay? Okay, now we're going to test it. So I type it here, the item name, add item, and nothing appears here. Oh, it appears after I click it. Okay. Why is that? Normally, you want the spinner to set a new adapter every time you change, okay, this list here. So, since we are going to use this on the creation and also on the button, let's put this on a function, okay? So, private void update spinner. And then we can call it here update spinner, and also inside after you create a new item. So we have item 2, item 5. Okay. One thing that's not good about this update spinner. So I'm selected here item 5, and then I'm going to add a new item, okay? I'm going to add item 6. When I add the item, it put here the item 6, but it changes back to item 1, okay? could have something like this. Oops. Get selected item position, and then after we do item selection. So we save which one it was. Since we know we are always adding items at the last position of the list, so it's no problem. So we're going to put item 1, add item, okay. Then I'm going to put item 2, okay. We have item 1 and 2, I'm going to change to 2. I'm going to put 3, and still kept item 2, okay. Now I want to, if I close the application and start again, my list is empty, my spinner is empty. I want to save the content of this item list onto a file, okay? So if you close the application and open again, we are going to have persistent data, okay? There are many ways you could do this, okay? We could save as a file, we could put on the preference, we could put on SQLite database, we could put in the cloud, okay? You're going to see just how we're going to save into files, okay? So, I'm going to create a function, private void save items to file. So in order to work that, we are going to have an output string, okay? It's kind of like you open the file, you open connection to the file, then you send all the data, then you close the file. That's how it works, okay? Output string equals open file output, then say the name of the file, items.txt, and then the mode that we want. Okay. You have mode append, that we could, every time you open, you don't clear the content of the file, you put on the last place of it. Mode private, that no one has access, just your application. And you could write ahead logging and no localized collators. Okay, this is just one is for logging, that you could like send the data without the file have been opened, so you keep a buffer. Okay, and this is for localization if you don't want that. Okay, just going to put private. Okay, so this is give me an error. Why is that? Because we are treating a file I/O file, input, output, and dealing with files control exceptions, because what, the file may not exist, the file, maybe you don't have access to it, maybe you don't have permission to open this file. So we need to put, just like we put conversion of numbers, we should put on try catch. Okay. So you could open your file. Okay. When you finish, you should close it. Okay. So you open and close. If you do not close, you may end up with your file corrupted. Okay. And also you end up with memory that it's allocated on the run, but is not being used by nothing. Okay. So always close all the streams that you have. Now we need one output stream writer. Stream writer receives new output stream writer, receiving this output string. Also, we created here, and we need also to close it. Okay. Okay. The stream writer is the one that's going to write the information on the file. Okay. So we need some form to save this item here into a file. Okay. You could implement serializable stuff like that from Java. Okay. But let's do it by hand. So let's have a for each string item in item list, string writer say to write the item. Okay, but we need some form where we're going to write the item. So for example, if you have the item, first item is item 1. It's going to write item 1. Then the second item is going to write what? Item 2. It's going to write just like this, like one, when one finishes, the other begins, okay? So we need some character to know when one have ended and other has begun, okay? In our case, we are going to use the break line, okay? I think it's easier, okay? So string writer, write the new line character, okay? And to finalize, so string writer, we are going to flush when stop writing, you're going to flush to send all the information to the file. Then we are going to close everything. Okay. So now we need to, when do we need to save the items? Probably we need to save every time we change this item list, okay? In our case, is when we click on the button. So after we add the item, we are going to call up save items to file. Okay. Now if we press play, I'm going to banana, add item, apple. But one good thing for us to do is what? When also we put the data here, also to empty here the string, right? So after update string, just to make it better, I'm going to call the name in the text, set text to be an empty text. Just to make sure that's empty, so I don't keep like writing, okay? So it's better for the interface, okay? But one thing, now we have banana and apple. If we play again, it's still empty. Why? Because we saved the information, but we did not load it. It's still in the file, but we are not doing anything with that, okay? Android has it here. Sometimes this works, sometimes this does not work, but let's see. We have here on view device file explorer. Okay, so click here view to window, you have device file explorer. If you go to there, it's like Windows Explorer for the files on the device. If we try to find it, I think it's here on data, app, no, data. Let's try to find Android. It's usually like Spinner app. If you go see on files, you have here items.txt. Okay, so data, and then the name of the package. In my case is com ExigeleX Spinner app. If I press 2 times, it appears here, banana and apple, just like we said. Okay. One thing about it, but that way I could like go here, find a bank or something and steal the information, something kind of like that. If you try to see others application, for example, let's try to Google Maps. We see run as package, not debugable. Okay. And also if you see that package that don't belong to us, we cannot see the information. Why is that? All files work in Android, and all the information works, the application works in the concept of sandbox. Kind of like from kids. Okay, they just kind of like what? The sandbox, you can play around, you can leave your toys behind, and you come back, they will be there, and no one else will touch it, except for you. So your application, only you have access to it, on you as developer, okay? You could make the sandbox shareable. For example, Facebook, they have Instagram, they have Facebook, they have WhatsApp. They can, for example, share the sandbox between their application, but probably will not be shareable with TikTok, for example. Okay, so they have different sandboxes. That way, all the files here are you cannot steal the files, the information from one application to the other. Okay, only the application itself will have access to its own sandbox. So we have a file here. We have the information, but we're still missing. We have save items to file, but still missing loading the files. So loading the information. Private void load items from file. So since we are also going to deal with file input output, I also going to define anti-catch. Okay. So here I open the file output. Now I'm going to open the file input. So it will be an input string. Open file input, and we need the same name as we put it here. So items. Now we need a string reader. Also the same way, we open the input string, we need to close it, okay? So I open, I close, because also the file could get corrupted if you don't do that. And also you can have all the information on the run memory, okay? Now we need the input string reader equals new input string, and also we're going to close it. And also this input string reader normally allows us to open, but we are going to get also the buffered reader. That way we can open the file one by one, one byte at a time. So we can read each line separately. Okay, it'd be easier for us. So we're going to define here line, and you're going to say while line receives buffer reader read line. Okay, we could also read each characters as integer, read as buffers. Okay, but read all the line. Okay, since you separate our items per line, so it's easier for us to use that. Okay, and we are going to check if this is not null. Okay, if there's no line to read, it will return null. So you pick up the line, put on line, and then we check if it's null or not. If it's null, means the file is over. Okay, you already read all the file. Then you're going to say item list, add this line. Also, just to make sure, I'm going to clear my item list. So just make sure that's empty so I can add all the items of it, okay? And we're just missing here, after we add, we need also to close the buffered region. Now we just need, on the creation here, just before the update spinner, when we create it, we load the items from file. Now if we test it, it already says banana here. You have also apple. You could also add pineapple, and it's all there. Now if you close, we have like 3 items. We stop and close, run again. It has all the 3 items, okay? If you look in the items, one thing about this file explorer is what? You see here, already save here with pineapple, but shows for me without the pineapple, okay? It doesn't get automatic update. If you need to see a new version, if you save it, you need to close it, go back on the file, I close it, view to window, file explorer, and open again, okay? It does kind of like lazy loading, so every time you click, it loads, but you need to keep reloading, okay? So everything okay so far? Yes. Oh, sure. What was the other question? No, it's just one. No problem. That's why. There you go. You cannot find what? Okay. So the rest of the class, you're going to continue the exercise, but we are going to change. So I have asked you to implement like two screens, right? One for the user login, another for the username. And now I want to change a little bit. Now the user will have username, just as before. The password. The name. And the category. Can be client, admin, employee. The client, admin, employee. We have these three options. Okay. The login will be pretty much the same. So login. You have the user name and the password. And you have a login button. But now we are going to also have a button, add user. That you go to a screen that you're going to add the user. So you're going to have your username, password, name, and category. This category is going to be a spinner with these three options. Okay, so you're going to select them to the spin. If the user login and is okay, you go to a screen that you have the name and the avatar. It's kind of like one for client, one for admin, one for employee. So you have a different, depends on the category, the image will be different, okay? Just select two images. And if the login is not okay, a toast message. Okay? So that's it. I'll leave the rest of the class for you to work on that. Okay? If you have any questions, please ask me. No problem. Okay? I'm going to put the code on the GitHub and also the video on YouTube. Okay? And if you want to work in groups, also there's no problem. Okay? If you want to go couples or maybe 3, no problem. Okay? Okay, so that's it. Let me